Hey everybody, how's it going? So today's topic, weight training versus calisthenics training and what's better. I think it really comes down to our overall goal. Now, are we trying to sculpt a physique or are we trying to learn a skill? And if we're trying to learn a skill and that skill is calisthenic or bodyweight style skill, we absolutely have to spend 90% of our time doing calisthenics training with 10% of our time complementary strength building in other areas. Right? If that's if we're trying to learn a skill. Now, if we're trying to build a physique, that's a little bit different. I think building a physique can be done with weight training, obviously, really well. Bodybuilders build physiques. That's what they do, and they usually only use weights to do that. But the majority of the time, that takes a lot of dedication. That takes multiple sessions a day, in my opinion, 2 a day to really have the conditioning and really have the physique that could win on stage or that could really stand out. That's where I think calisthenics and bodyweight training comes into play. Because when you do calisthenics and bodyweight training, you can bring in the conditioning aspect of building a body. Now, I absolutely think that if your goal is to gain a lot of muscle mass or construct a great physique, the best way to do that is use a combination of weight training and body weight training. But I think body weight training always adds an aspect of perfection in that. Obviously, the example being gymnasts, but gymnasts build some of the most aesthetically pleasing physiques there are. And I think that's because there's so much time and so much effort spent on the conditioning aspect, the overall training aspect of what gymnastics is. And that's 3 hours in the gym. That's multifaceted exercises, nothing really in isolation, and a ton of frequency. And if you take those principles out of gymnastics and look at them from a weightlifting standpoint, that's significantly different than what the majority of bodybuilders do. I mean, gymnasts train the same muscle group 6 days in a row, right? We train the same muscle group every single day. We do some of the same skills every single day. And for bodyweight principles or bodybuilding principles, that doesn't really make any sense in that industry. But I think as far as a conditioning aspect, that really brings in a lot of value. Now, creating overall mass, I do think is constructed and created from doing things that are isolated, right? So creating overall mass could be training chest or training back once or twice a week, right? And then bringing the gymnastics and the bodyweight training in for their overall conditioning. I think that's what constructs the perfect physique. So again, to answer your question, to make the perfect physique, I think it's a combination of weight training and bodyweight training. If it's skill specific, you have to spend 90% of your time training for that skill specifically and 10% of your time doing complementary training. All right, if you have any other questions or you want to make a suggestion on any topics, comment below. Thanks for watching.